You're watching this video for one of two reasons. Either you're just getting started in info and you're not making as much money as you hoped you would make, and you're wondering why. Or you've been selling info for a while and you're confused why you're stuck at a certain figure per month and you can't seem to scale past that. And that's what this video is going to dive deep into. Why your info business isn't scaling. Number one, you don't treat it like a real business. Okay. I don't know why there's such a big misconception in the info space, but people think, oh, I've made a bunch of money with my respective business. Let me go into info. Let me just post my info, post a few CTAs, and I'll post a YouTube video once a week, and I'm going to print. Perfect. You'll make 10, 20, 30, sometimes 70, 80K a month, but that's not likely. Most people who do that, and most people who think info is super easy, all you got to do is post a few reels a week, one YouTube video, and you'll be sorted, are the people who are stuck at those 10, 20K months. Okay. And the biggest reason is because you guys think it's a side hustle. You think it's a quick cash grab. Most people I see post their info, post their Lambo, post whatever car they've got, and then they'll post a CTA once a week on their stories and they think they're going to make a shit ton of money. Okay. That is not a business strategy. I don't know why so many people, especially in the business space, make a bunch of money with their respective business, come into info, build a personal brand, and then they think, okay, info is super easy. I don't have to put any of the effort I put into building my real business. All I've got to do is build a personal brand and I'm going to make a lot of money. Okay. Building a personal brand takes effort. Okay. And the guys who think that are like that are the guys who are stuck. Okay. The top guys in the space do not treat it like a side hustle. They treat it like a real business. Hence why they are making so much money. Brez is making more from his info product for his coaching compared to his actual agency. And it's because he actually treats it like a business. TJR treats it like a business. This guy makes way more money from his courses, his coaching, anything to that effect compared to trading. The guy makes like 200K a month from trading and he's doing like $1.5 million a month with his info product. Okay. So you guys have to understand that the reason they're doing so well is because they spend so much time, they spend so much effort, they've got the right infrastructure, they've got the right setups, the back-end systems, all these types of things which actually make a business run. Okay. And that's the biggest thing. They're treating it like a business. Do you think Brez is setting up funnels or scripting out emails or doing these low leverage activities? No. Why? Because someone else can do that. The only thing he does is run his agency, coaches his students, and post content. That is the only thing he does. Same as TJL. I watched a podcast where you guys can watch it. I think it's called the TSL podcast. Specifically in this podcast, he says he doesn't do anything else other than post content and coach his students. He doesn't build funnels, emails, SMSs, whatever you think that's involved in a funnel, involved in getting people into an info product, does not do it. Okay, he's got someone else that does it for him, and all he does is the content side of things. Okay, you need to have a clear content strategy. A lot of people just think, oh, posting my info, posting a few motivational reels, and talking about my business is enough. It's not. Okay, that is not a strategy. Okay, you need to have a correct offer ecosystem. Do you have upsells? Do you have downsells? Do you have all these things so you can maximize when people actually come through your funnel? Okay, do you actually have a team in place? And yes, I'm talking about sales teams, but I'm also talking about sales managers. I'm also talking about copywriters. And obviously, these things are what you need once you get to a certain stage. I'm not telling you at 20K a month to go hire a copywriter, to go hire a sales manager, and to hire out all these people, because realistically, you're going to be left with nothing. And you're probably just going to be paying them out of pocket, realistically, if you're doing 20K a month. But, once you get to 6 figures a month, once you get to 200, 300, 400, 500K a month, you're going to need to actually hire a team. You can't just do it yourself. Okay. Are you actually tracking what you're doing? Most people and most creators I see do not reinvest their products or reinvest into programs or anything to that effect. Okay. I see so many people who just make a bunch of money and think, okay, now I just need to get more leads through the system and I'm going to make more money. Okay. Why not optimize the leads that are already coming through and try and make more money with them? Okay. A lot of people, you probably, if you're a business owner watching this, you probably invested in coaching to get to the point where you're at with your respective business. And why don't you do that with coaching? Because coaching is a business at the end of the day. But if you don't treat it like one, if you don't invest in yourself, you don't try and think of new content strategies and do all these things, you're never going to make more money. Okay. If you're spending nothing on skills development, are you spending more on camera equipment, new editors, whatever it may be, you're not investing in yourself to improve the operation, to improve getting more leads, whatever it may be. Okay. Are you ever auditing your systems? That's another big thing with businesses. Do you ever audit what you're doing? You look at your stuff and say, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? Okay, I'm going to get into this a bit later on down the line, but are you actually looking at what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right? Okay, info is a real business. If you don't treat it as one, you will fail. Cool. You can be stuck at 10, 15, 20, 30K a month. and think, oh, I just need to post my M4 and then I'll get a bunch of people through the funnel. No. Cool, you can do that though. But if you actually want to make a shit ton of money, you need to start treating it like a business. You not need to start hiring out teams, setting up systems, investing in yourself, delegating tasks, just as a normal business owner would do. Okay. Number 2, you don't have the correct tracking in place. Info is a numbers game. You scale by diagnosing a problem and eliminating the bottlenecks, not just guessing. I see so many people who think, oh, I'm running a free Discord funnel, or I'm running a free training funnel. Let me just switch up the funnel completely and do a low ticket funnel. Where is the data to back that up? Okay, let me switch up my VSL. It's not working whatsoever because you're not making as much money as you want. Where's the data to back that up? Okay, I need to change this in the funnel completely. Where's the data to back that up? I see a lot of people who just change things in their business, but they don't even know where the leads are coming from. They don't know why the leads are coming to them. They don't know why people are buying from them. They don't know so many things that make a business successful. And that's another thing. Info is a numbers game. If you just figure out your problems in terms of the numbers, okay? So if you say, listen, my conversion rates on my opt-ins to people who view my funnel to people who actually opt in. Let's just say you're running a free training funnel where people have to opt in before they can watch your VSL. Okay? Let's just say you're running that. And you have a 32% conversion rate. That's a problem. You should be sitting at anywhere from 50 to 70% with funnels like that. Okay? And if you're doing that and you've got such a better conversion rate, if you just double that net metric of 30% to 60%, you're going to make twice as much money. But you have to identify the problem before you can fix it. Okay? If you don't measure it, you can't improve it. Most coaches don't even know a clue about their close rates, their sharp rates. I've been on multiple sales calls in the last month where I asked them, what is your close rate? How many calls have you taken in the last month? How many people have you closed? You know? And a lot of them don't even know those simple statistics. They don't even get me started on the funnel conversions or email open rates or anything to that effect. People just do as they think. They think, okay, cool. Let me try this out. And then they go from there. They don't look at the numbers. They don't know where leads are coming from. They don't know why things are working, how things are working. And that's what honestly makes you fail. You're just guessing at that point and hoping shit works. Okay. You've got no real data to back it up. Okay. As I said before, if you double your conversion rate on a single metric inside of your funnel, you're going to make twice as much money. If 300 people viewed your type form, so 300 people on your funnel clicked onto the type form, but only 10% of those people actually started the type form, then there's a problem. Correct? So you need to figure out why the problem's there and come up with a solution to try and fix it. Okay? Maybe you're split testing, whatever it may be. But you have to be figuring out these problems, and the only way you do it is through the actual metrics. Are you tracking your metrics? Okay? People think they just need to improve the amount of leads they're getting, or they need more leads to improve conversions. No, they blame the content instead of the funnel. Oh, we're not making as much money because we're not getting too many leads through the funnel. No, optimize the leads that are already coming through the funnel, and then you'll start making more money. Okay, they think views equal sales instead of conversions equal sales. If you optimize every single metric inside your funnel, you'll make way more money if you compared to when you just look at your content and think, let me get more leads through the funnel. I promise you. Okay. For example, one of our clients specifically, we had an opt-in funnel. So simple. It was a VSL, but you couldn't view the VSL before you put your name, email, and phone number in. And we had a 35% conversion rate from that page where they had to fill out their name, their information, to the actual VSL, or the free training you could call it. Okay, we had a 35% conversion rate. And that was pretty bad. So we looked at it and we're like, okay, maybe the funnel doesn't look too great. We can improve the copy. The copy's not too great. When the form pops up, it doesn't look too great either. We probably optimize the copy above that. And we fixed all these things, and over time, we got it to 58%. Why? Because we kept split testing. We kept thinking, okay, this is not working still. Let me try something else. Okay, and that's the biggest thing. We saw the problem and we fixed it. That's 2x the amount of revenue we were making. Why? Because we saw the problem and we fixed it. Okay, because 2 times the amount of people were actually going through it. Okay, and the reason I say this, and the reason you need to split test, and the reason you need to track things is because there's so many strategies and there's so many different ways you can do things. Okay, but if you don't know what's working, how do you know if you should continue doing it? Not only that, but every single audience is different. No audience is exactly the same. Okay, my audience is not the same as your audience. A trader's audience is not the same as another trader's audience. Every single person's audience is different, and you have to tailor it to your audience. Some people, or some funnels, or some audiences just want a straight type form. Perfect. Some funnels need that extra bit of educating. Some people need a free training funnel. It just depends on what your audience is and what they prefer to convert through. And that's the biggest thing you guys need to understand. Okay. Number 3, you don't have a sales team. The only reason I put this in there is because I went through a few funnels this week specifically, and there were 3 guys in particular who were doing multiple 5 figures every single month. I'm talking anywhere from 50 to 90K a month. And these guys were doing their own sales calls and they were doing their own setting. So they were messaging people once people booked in, and they were also hopping on calls with them. And I just sat there and thinking, like, why are you doing this? Sales is such a low leverage activity. You should not be spending 6 hours of your day sitting on sales calls thinking to yourself that this is what's making you money. No, what makes you money is optimizing the business, focusing on higher leverage activities like posting content, thinking of new strategies, fixing problems in the funnel, getting better sales teams, training your sales team better, whatever it may be. But spending 6 to 8 hours a day is not the way you should be doing things. Okay. If you're doing 20K a month, you at least need a setter or a closer. I would not recommend having both of them, but setter and a closer is definitely what you should have in place if you're doing anywhere from 20 to 30K a month. If you are doing 50K a month, you should at least have both of those things in place. Setter and a closer. Those are bare minimum. Okay. Once you get to 100K, you can start hiring people to actually manage those people. Okay. Because realistically, if you're doing 100K a month, you are probably taking a lot of sales calls. Okay. And hopping on a call maybe every single morning to chat with your sales teams is probably not optimal. So maybe hiring out a few sales managers is one of those things you need to do. Okay. Without a team, your growth ceiling is, effectively just capped to how much time and effort you can put into something. Okay. And that's the problem. Most people don't look at it like that. You only have set amount of hours in the day. You need to spend those hours as most effective. No one can post content for you, but a lot of people can hop on a sales call for you. A lot of people can script out a VSL for you. A lot of people can set for you. A lot of people can do so many things for you, but they can't do the needle moving activities like posting content, like thinking of new strategies. There's a lot of things they can't do, and that's why you should also be doing it. You're selling the wrong product. Okay. This is probably one of the biggest misconceptions in the info space, and I see a lot of people doing this, where they just try and sell some $50 Discord or some $50 community. No, if you want to make real money, you need to sell to the rich. Okay. You don't get rich by selling a $50 community. It works for some people. Don't get me wrong. It works for a very, very small amount of people, but I still believe if they just sold high tickets, they would make more money. Okay. So 9 times out of 10, probably 99 times out of 100, I'm going to say do high tickets. Okay. So watching this, it's likely you should be selling high tickets. Yes, you can have your low ticket products on the back end. You can have your low ticket product as well. But if you're not focusing on high ticket, you're doing something wrong. Okay. Low ticket works for, as I said, 1% or 0.0001% of people. Okay. And the biggest truth with low ticket is that it's not actually solving a problem. Okay. You're not actually solving a problem. Realistically, if someone's paying $50 a month for your community, how interactive are they? How much do they actually attend your calls? How much of the course content do they watch? I've done that before. Don't get me wrong. I spent $100 on a community and I didn't even look at it. It was about how to improve a school community, how to get it more active. If you guys wanted to know, I looked at it, I bought it, cool, and I never looked at it again. I didn't watch a single video. I didn't hop on a single call. I didn't do anything. Okay. And the next month I just canceled from there on out. So low ticket is just one of those things where people don't put that much emphasis. Hence, they're not actually going to solve their problems. They're not actually going to get rich. They're not actually going to learn the specific thing that you're trying to teach them. Okay, cool. If you're just promoting a community and a place for people to connect, cool on that. But if you're actually trying to teach something and get people results, this is not the way to do it. Okay, because when you are spending $50 a month, it's not that much money to you. You're not going to put that much effort. When someone spends $3,000, $5,000 on your product, they're obviously going to put more effort into what you're actually doing. Okay. Another thing I want to tell you guys is, for example, Iman Gadzi, he used to sell a low ticket product. I think it was around $50 to $100 a month. Don't quote me on that, but I remember watching a podcast where he was talking about he was selling a low ticket community and he said it's the worst thing he's ever done. Okay. You always have to be updating the process. You always have to be updating the product for people to stay inside. His average retention rate is just over 3 months. Okay. So people are canceling the 3-month mark. That's his average retention rate. And this is a guy who's done $100 million in info. He's probably done $10 million or $5 million in low ticket products, whatever it may be, and he can't even figure it out. So why, your arrogant self, do you think that you can figure it out? Some people might figure it out and do it better than others. But realistically, if you actually want to make money with low ticket, the only way to do it is to have a massive audience and just sell to the markets and sell to the masses. And still, I think if you had a high ticket product, you would still do better. Okay. Number 5, your funnel is shit. ChatGPT changed this around. Didn't want me to use a bad word, but your funnel is fucking shit. Okay. Realistically, do you think it looks as aesthetic as possible? I can go through 50 funnels right now that I can just pull up that look absolutely terrible. That I could say, people aren't buying his product because this funnel looks shit. Okay. You guys don't realize that that funnel portrays who you are. That funnel is the first step into getting into your product. If it doesn't look good, if it's not aesthetic, someone is probably going to get pushed away. You're probably having a, less of a conversion ratio or a bad conversion ratio because it looks shit. Okay, so if you just improve it, make it look a little bit better, you're obviously going to make more money. Do you guys buy an iPhone because it's an iPhone? Yes. Okay, you don't buy an iPhone because it's the best phone ever, or it's got the best processing speed, or the best camera. No, you buy an iPhone because it's an iPhone. Okay, and it's because of the branding. And that's exactly what a funnel does. It places you in a brand position of authority. Okay, it makes people feel an experience when they actually go through your funnel, and it's a good looking funnel. Okay, you've got poor design, you've got templates from fucking GHL that are like from 2018 that you paid $2 for. Why are you doing that? Okay, there's a reason it's a template. There's a reason it's $2. There's a reason. Okay, no one making good amounts of money is actually using it. Okay, what does your thank you page look like? I see a lot of thank you videos. Okay, don't get me wrong, a lot of people don't have access to information like this, but a lot of people's thank you pages just look like this. They say, cool, you just booked in, congratulations, it's a video underneath, thank you for booking a call, check your emails because we just sent you an email, and that's it. Okay, that is terrible. Okay, you guys need to look into how to actually optimize a funnel, the things you need to be doing to actually improve your conversion ratios. Okay, you need to have a clean looking landing page. You need to have a good VSL. You need to be split testing your VSLs. That's another thing with funnels and having a good looking funnel and optimizing metrics is you need to be split testing every 72 hours. Okay, I know a lot of people in the space who are split testing pretty much daily different things. Okay, and that's a reason they're doing better and better and better because they're always figuring out new ways to improve. Okay, what does your qualification form look like? The other day I literally went through a funnel that had 35 questions. He had 35. I counted them individually. He had 35 questions. I was like, why are you asking so many questions? Okay. And the guy was doing 10K a month with 100,000 followers on YouTube talking about trading. And he was only posting educational content. That type of guy should be doing minimum of 500K a month. And he was doing 10K a month. Why? Because he had 35 questions in his form. And realistically, no one who actually has time in their day is going to fill out that form. Or someone who's actually seriously probably has the money to pay for a ticket is going to fill out that form. Okay, that's the biggest thing. Do you have automated follow-ups? Do you have SMS reminders? Do you have all these things set up? Okay, that's not a huge part of it, but the main thing is just, do you have a good-looking funnel? Do you have something you're proud to actually produce to your audience? And that's the biggest thing. Okay, but I hope you guys got a bit of value from this video. There's going to be a link down below if you guys want to schedule in a one-on-one call with me just to talk about a few strategies more in depth and get a feel for where your info business is and how I can actually help you. But also my Instagram is going to be in the link in the description. So if you guys want to check that out as well, be glad to message me on Instagram. See you guys soon. Cheers.